biggest element of the golf swing is the shoulder turn, as I've just explained in the last piece. The left shoulder turn, the ignition is key. No good going arms only, ignite the shoulder, and then once the shoulder ignites, guess what? 15 things are starting to be activated. There is a sequence. You can't go shoulder then wrist, you have to go shoulder and forearm if you're looking at the forearms in isolation. Now what's interesting is that if I put my hands out in front of me, I can turn them out 90 degrees each and 135 inwards. However, when the hands come together, I have 90 degrees rotational mobility to my right and 180 to my left. That is how the forearms work in the golf swing. It's not my bright idea, it's just the way the human body is made. Arms extended, 90 out, 135 in. However, when the hands come together, you're limited to 90 going back and 180 going through. So this is another source of power, but also the forearms have the role of controlling the spin on the ball. So if you come into the shot like this, it's a backspin shot in tennis, which is a slice shot in golf. If you come through with some forearm rotation, that's topspin in tennis, which is a right to left draw in golf. So let's just expand the tennis analogy a couple of stages further. My favourite pupils are ex-tennis players rather than ex-cricketers, because if I hold the racket in front of me, you can see the racket is perpendicular. And if I turn my shoulders, the racket gets to about here. But what I need is to go beyond that point, so you can see that the forearms have to rotate. And it's a mixture. As the shoulder turns, the forearms rotate. Now, if you're under pressure and the club goes first before the shoulders, you'll be in plane, but you'll hit a rolling pull, 11 o'clock draw. The TV pundits never get it. They see the effect on the shot and the downswing, but the most common fault under pressure is the club head going before the left shoulder. The left shoulder has to start first. And if the shoulder loads to its maximum potential of power, I'm pretty much guaranteeing to you that the forearms are going to behave beautifully. So your forearms roll 90 in the backswing, and then from here they roll 180 on the way through. Accuracy comes from synchronizing those two together. So if it's not too mathematical, there's the club vertical, the club face, the tennis racket. As I turn a quarter turn, it rolls a little bit, half a turn, three-quarter turn, full turn. So you can see in slow motion that as the shoulder goes under the throat to create the power, the forearms rotate. So you can do this at home. You can practice with a tennis racket or a golf club in front of a mirror, or go outside in the garden to your reflection in the lounge window. And as you turn, the club face rotates 90, and then you come through. So that's a good visual image, but let's turn the image into something that we can feel. So back to the power roller. I'm still in the 6-iron mode. I'm swinging, holding at the bottom of the power roller. So as the shoulders turn to this point, I've got half my forearm rotation. When I cock my wrists, I get the rest. So watch that again. As I turn the shoulder turn gives me half a forearm rotation. And my wrist cock gives me the rest. And that's where I can offer you 3 for the price of 2. The same is true on the way through. The shoulders take you through, and you've got half your forearm rotation. When you cock the wrists on the way to the flat surface at the top, guess what? You get the rest of your forearm rotation. So in both instances, as you turn and hinge the wrist, the forearms behave, and when you release and hinge the wrist, the forearms act as they should. But I think the tennis racket analogy is one of the most effective keys visually and physically. So you can see it. If I turn a quarter, there's a quarter forearm. Half a turn, half a forearm. Three-quarter turn, three-quarter forearm. Full turn, full forearm. And as that happened, of course, the wrists were hinging automatically. You need that on both sides. So, tennis racket explains to you how the forearms work within the swing, and it's controlling the racket or the club face, particularly with the iron. We can see that backspin, fade spin is a delay of forearms, and a creativity, a release of the forearms gives you draw spin. So, golf tennis but with a static ball that's on the floor.